All
What's
right,
up?
welcome to Metal Bent Chronicles and also streaming on Twitch and on the Metal Bastards Facebook page too. YouTube page, I'm sorry.
Give me a second.
Not quite sure how to stream on that Facebook page I started yet, so we'll figure it out though. Anyways, welcome everybody tonight. Pretty much a random stream, but we're going to pay tribute to Ronnie James Dio too here in the stream because today would have been his 80th birthday.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't
yes,
that have make him older than every other member of Black Sabbath? Because they had to be in their 70s.
Yes, he would have been the oldest.
Damn. Yeah.
Because everybody else, I mean, like, the original four are still in their 70s, and Gillen's still in his 70s. Tony Martin's a lot younger. I believe he's 65.
Yeah.
So, he would have been the oldest, as far as I know. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty positive he was the oldest.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to the chat. We got Paul here. We got somebody new here.
I have the Twitch. I'm looking at the Twitch chat. Nobody's saying hi in the Twitch chat, but yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, that's pretty much expected. We got Prenny here.
What was I gonna say?
Somebody new.
Yeah. I'm looking up on Google to see if there's any Dio unreleased tracks, and the only ones I can think of was that slapback one off of Heaven and Hell, which kind of was Rainbow-esque, and then you have the what was gonna be Magica 2 in 2010 was 2010 with the song Electra. That was like the last recorded vocal song by Dio before he died. So,
Yeah, it's a shame, man. I mean, there was a Magica 2 in the works. I mean, there was even going to be a Magica 3 from my understanding. This is going all the way back to like 2000,
And there was talks of also Dio signing a big payday contract with Rhino Records with Black Sabbath permanently around that time.
Wow.
After the success of the Heaven and Hell album, apparently Dio was going to get permission from Tony and Geezer and sign a contract where he can both do Heaven and Hell and his solo stuff in tandem without any issue, compared to like previous, grudges and stuff.
Right.
And there was talks of another Heaven and Hell album. So after the W, also.
Yeah.
We also had the we also had that what was it? What was that Black Sabbath album? It was after Dehumanizer had 3 extra new tracks on it. No, I'm talking Dio stuff.
Oh, Dio stuff.
You're talking about Strange Highways?
No, the compilation album that came out in 2006.
Oh, the Dio years.
The Dio years. Yes, you had those 3 tracks. Ear in the Wall.
That's right. Yep.
What are the other 2 tracks?
The Devil Cry was, I think, one of them.
The Devil Cry. Yeah.
I can't remember the other one either.
Shadow of the Wind. Shadow. Yes.
Ah, okay.
And.
But
yes. So, I mean, like I said, today would be Ronnie James Dio's 80th birthday if he was still here, and I guarantee you, if he was still here, he would definitely still be making music.
If him and Cozy Powell were still here, if Richie Blackmore wouldn't do it, we could have sort of had somewhat of a Rainbow reunion, sort of with an almost original lineup. Because originally, right after Angry Machines, right before Cozy Powell died, after that fallout with Black Sabbath with Cozy Powell and him doing the session stuff for Dehumanizer, yes, originally Cozy Powell was going to be on drums for that record with Ronnie. But no, apparently in 1997, right, or 98, right, during Angry Machines, I think, Dio was apparently in contact with Cozy Powell about possibly getting in contact with Richie Blackmore. Apparently Cozy was on board, and so was Ronnie on board for possibly doing a one-off Rainbow show, just a one-off one show, see how that would do. And
nothing came out. When did Cozy pass away?
It would have been 97.
Oh,
I think it's 97. Maybe it was 98.
Wow, just before. Damn.
Because I'm just reading on what I find, and it was going to be Cozy Powell, Dio on vocals, Cozy Powell, Richie Blackmore, and then the bassist that did the first two Ozzy albums. What's his name?
Bob Daisley?
Bob Daisley.
It was going to be that for a long time.
That's kind of a little bit of some, because aside from Richie, that's the former members of Black Sabbath. Cozy was with them on Tear. Bob was only on Eternal Idol, and then obviously Dio with the Dio albums.
It would have been interesting. Hear that? Yeah. But
wouldn't they usually also have a keyboardist?
But no, apparently during '98, Dio was also in a legal battle with Richie Blackmore over who gets the rights for Rainbow. Apparently, Richie Blackmore won those rights over Ronnie, which I think is stupid. I think Ronnie should have gotten that.
Yeah, but who? It makes sense because I think Richie was the one that formed Rainbow because he left.
No,
Deep Purple.
Technically, Rainbow it's technically Elf.
Elf with Richie Blackmore on guitar.
Well, the thing is, too, like the first Richie Blackmore album, Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, was the only album that had members of Elf on it. Well, besides Ronnie James Dio, but like the other members were pretty much fired after that album.
Yes.
So something's not lining up here.
No.
Yeah.
Because
it's weird.
I mean, the next year, Richie Blackmore kept Dio and pretty much hired a whole new band. You know.
Yeah.
That's when Cozy Powell came in. Jimmy Bain. I forget who the keyboard player was on Richie Blackmore's Rainbow.
Don Airy, maybe?
No, it wasn't Don Aries. It was somebody I'm not really familiar with. Oh. Yeah, okay, let's look it up here because I cannot think of his name right now.
Hello, Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Rainbow.
Looking
it up right now here.
Yeah, we got John in the chat.
Yep.
Okay, so Rising came out in May 15th, 19. Okay. Band members. Where are we at here? Oh yeah, it's Tony Carey on keyboards.
Who's that? I've never heard of him.
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with him. Besides, what he did on Rising.
Is that it? Was that his only? Did they get somebody else after that? Him?
Trying to look here, looking at his discography here. He did a bunch of solo albums. I'm not familiar with his solo material at all.
Yeah, he's someone we're not familiar with.
Then he has another project called the Planet P Project, which I've never heard.
Huh.
He's got a lot of albums here. I mean, holy cow, he's got quite a bit. He's got some instrumental albums.
Of course.
Damn. It looks like he has a pretty hefty discography. I'm just not really familiar with him. But,
yeah.
Vivian Campbell, well, of course, Karen.
Vivian was in Rainbow?
No.
No.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. He was only in Dio. And then had another band and then went to Leopard.
Tracy G. Wasn't Tracy G in Dio? Because I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on Strange Highways and
Oh, that album ripped.
Who was on Magica?
Angry Machine.
Who was on Magica?
Magica.
Wasn't it oh, god damn. I'm pretty sure on Magica it was damn it. Why's my brain freezing while we're live?
I did want to mention, because you did a video earlier today, I think, Ben, the whole flawless discography thing. Would you consider the One Heaven and Hell album flawless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good album.
Okay, if we're talking 10 flawless albums, Dio has to be in that category of flawless albums. Anything Dio records. It's always
Craig Goldie. Craig Goldie was the guitar player on that.
I would.
Yeah, Craig Goldie.
Even some of my favorites, some of my all-time favorites, some of those albums aren't really flawless. Metallica's only flawless album to me is Master of Puppets. Everything else either has a few, production, mixing, recording, or have a song that's not even good.
Yeah.
I can say Maiden because, well, I like some of Killers, but not all of it. Virtual 11. There's only 2 good songs on there. The rest is garbage. and then obviously Final Frontier. It's
the final front bore. The final front bore. Wait, we're
Ladies
live.
and gentlemen.
They're my favorites. Even Tool has some flaws on their albums.
I think.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I think. What was I trying? Like when it comes to discographies, I look for like consistent or like definitely consistency with bands.
Yes.
Oh. Well, the material is obviously got to be strong too.
Yes.
Production doesn't really have to be a huge issue. I mean, it depends, I guess. Like, to me, I think, like the 10 bands I mentioned in my video, to me, I've, pretty much flawless discographies. I mean, not every album's obviously going to be a 10 out of 10. But
right.
I would say if an album's like between 8 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10, it would be, in that flawless category.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that regard, pretty much Metallica is out of the question, considering the only two albums that I have below, the only 2 albums I have below age are Hardwired and Saint Anger.
Yeah.
Minor load and reload. I think my ranking's going to change if we ever re-rank it down the road.
Anyway, this ain't Metallica. This is a Dio stream.
Yeah. Get it on topic. Get it on topic. Sorry.
And there's enough people out there doing Metallica videos. It seems like every day I look at YouTube, somebody's doing a Metallica video. But anyways.
Metallica who? I think those pink goats see Metallica.
Oh, look, Shit Barnes rears his ugly head.
God damn you,
What do you mean my head's ugly? What do you mean Dio my head's ugly? I'm a perfect human being, god damn it.
Shit Barnes, get out of here. This stream's
Get out of here. Yeah, get out of here.
Dude, get out. Hit the road, bitch. Yeah, man. But yes, so Dio, wow, what a career. His career began way back in 1957.
Yeah. He was playing trumpet. I think he was playing trumpet. I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Well, he started out doing the bebop kind of music, I guess you would call it, the 50s bebop stuff. I mean, and I've listened to some of that Ronnie James Dio and the Prophet stuff. You can definitely hear early signs of what was to come with Dio's voice.
Not a lot of people know Dio was also a bass player.
Yeah. He was a bass player too early on, and he played bass in Elf too.
Also, I heard on Heaven and Hell, whenever Geezer was not around, half of Heaven and Hell was recorded on bass by Ronnie, the other half by Geezer. I think, because apparently Geezer was going through some family issues around that time, so he'd stepped in and out of doing recordings. So Tony and Bill and Ronnie all three of those guys were in the studio more often than Geezer was at that time. So Ronnie had to step in on bass, and I think from what Tony Iommi said in a 2011 interview, right after Ronnie passed, he said they were in the studio when him and Ronnie and Bill, all three of those guys, were writing down their first song, Children of the Sea. All the bass notes on Children of the Sea is all Ronnie. From what Bill and Tony says. So,
that's a pretty interesting. That's kind of interesting. I've heard rumors. I don't know how true this is because there's no really documented facts on this.
No.
But supposedly, I don't know how true this is, like I said, because I've never seen no proof of this. But Children of the Sea supposedly was written when Ozzy was still in the band, and there's a demo out there with Ozzy's vocals on it. I honestly really don't believe it because to me, I can't really picture it.
And I don't think at that time, that style of Black Sabbath, that 80s era of Black Sabbath, even the early 90s, I don't think that would have fit Ozzy. That would have not fit Ozzy. No. It would.
I would think maybe later in the 80s, Ozzy could have maybe.
No. Because they tried that.
But even then, I think his most melodic album would probably be No More Tears. If it was Ozzy from that, that's probably the closest.
I'm gonna say Sabotage was his most melodic.
Pretty debatable.
That's debatable. That'd be an interesting video topic. Let's leave it.
I honestly think Osmosis is the most melodic Ozzy album myself. There's a lot of ballads on that album.
That would be if it was in '96 or '95, whenever that came out. If that was the Ozzy they had for Children of the Sea, absolutely. It would have probably worked. It wouldn't be as awesome. It wouldn't be as awesome, but I think it could have. It might have been passable.
If Heaven and Hell if Ozzy was on all tracks on Heaven and Hell, it would not have sold as much. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at that point in time, it was definitely time for Ozzy to get out of Black Sabbath, obviously. I mean, because if Ozzy would have stayed there, I honestly don't think we'd have Ozzy Osbourne here today.
And technically, Heaven and Hell with Ronnie is one of the greatest comebacks albums in 1980 is Heaven and Hell.
Don't forget, Ozzy had a comeback album too with Blizzard.
But Ozzy doesn't. But yeah, Ozzy can go sit on a ditch right now.
Let me think. Oh, Iron Man would like to talk to you as well from that year.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go back to 1980 though. Yeah, that's actually very true because Black Sabbath basically reinvented themselves when they got Ronnie James Dio, and Ozzy basically reinvented himself when he went solo with Blizzard of Oz.
And technically, if you want to put it into a weirder perspective, another band reinvented themselves, which they could have AC/DC with losing Bon Scott in 1980. So you have technically...
You had several bands that were getting a little bit different. You know, like you said, AC/DC, Sabbath, Ozzy, hell, Priest.
Yeah.
Priest as well.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking Heaven and Hell, they did that tour. Bill Ward left because of his alcohol issues. And drugs.
And they had Vinny.
And they had Vinny Appice, which I love Bill. I think for Dio, in terms of drummer, for that Dio sound, it's Vinny Appice on drums. Hands down. Hands down.
Yeah.
See, I don't really know how. I don't honestly know how true this is either. Going back to the Heaven and Hell album. Then again, like I said, if there was proof of this, you know, I might believe it. But I've heard rumors too that Bill Ward's not even playing drums on Heaven and Hell, which I don't believe. I don't know what to believe there because there's two different stories on that. So,
I mean, I was listening to Heaven and Hell earlier today, and I was listening to the drumming on what's the song, Wishing Well, and I was listening to Heaven and Hell. I'm just listening to those drums, and I think, now that's Bill on drums because you can hear it. So, I mean,
yeah, who really knows until somebody comes out with the fact, you know, what really went on back then, you know, because, you know, you hear stories and they usually come from two different sides or whatever, you know.
But you know, let's talk about Dio and Black Sabbath and the kind of the Dio Sabbath relationship, where Dio, that first stint, then he had that second stint with Sabbath. Let's talk about those for a minute, since we're still talking about Sabbath with Dio.
Yeah. For a while, after fully listening to Heaven and Hell, I really, really love that album.
Absolutely. It's a 10 out of 10. Not a single bad track. It is a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Classic.
I would have said that after the first listen. I would have said no. But after several, I'm like, yes.
And then
is it the best Sabbath album? No. To me, no.
You could say yes. You could say no. That's arguable.
Here's the reason. Here's the reason I say this. The Eternal Idol and Tear exist. But that's all I'm going to say about it.
Those are not on the same level as Heaven and Hell. I'm sorry, Riot. Ben's getting a kick out of this.
I fucking love those albums. They're flawless.
Cool albums.
Yeah. But, you know, and then technically, first time we hear Mob Rules is on that, what's that album? Heavy Metal? Right?
Yep.
What? The Mob Rules?
There's the alternative version of Mob Rules on the Heavy Metal album.
Oh, yeah, that came out on the Heavy Metal soundtrack. Yeah, there's a different mix. Yeah, it has a different mix to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely different compared to the album version.
And Dio, and talking about Dio's performance on Mob Rules. That's not a solid album.
Oh, yeah.
You got tracks like Voodoo, Turn Up the Night, Sign of the Southern Cross is just a classic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Country Girl, despite it being kind of a little folky, it works.
Falling off the edge of the world. Now that song rules.
Yeah.
I love that track.
And what was I saying? Oh yeah, I think I said Strange Highways earlier, and Angry Machines are the two albums that I listen to the most as of right now.
Yeah.
That I've been listening to the most.
I mean, they definitely have that heavy end.
Yeah.
You could say those two albums are Dehumanizer Part 2 and 3.
Possibility,
When did Strange Highways come out?
Well,
96.
Yeah, that's before. That would be
Strange Highways?
Yeah, that would have been, if that was before Dehumanizer, then Dehumanizer would be Strange Highways Part 2.
Yeah, that's a weird one because in some areas it came out in 93. I think here in the States it came out in early 94.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be Dehumanizer Part 2. Okay.
It's definitely Dehumanizer 2 to me. It's got the heaviness that Dehumanizer had.
Oh, let me look up the track listing for the album. Strange Highways. See if I remember the tracks right.
Let's see.
Evolution.
You got Jesus, Mary, and the Holy Ghost.
Oh,
I believe was the opening track.
Technically, you could say you could say the opening track is the epic track off of that album. Technically,
definitely. Very epic. Oh man, should have broke out my CDs.
Yeah.
Obviously, the title track, "Strange Highways," very epic.
Ben, you're right. You were right for 93. It first dropped in Europe in 1993.
That's what I thought.
Actual release date was 93. October 25th, 1993. For the United States and Canada, January 26th, 1994.
Yeah, because distribution back then was very different,
and it was with two record labels. It was with Reprise Records and Vertigo Records for the rest of the world. So,
yes. Which Vertigo definitely would be the European version, and obviously Reprise would be the American version.
Well, okay. I'm reading up on the sessions for Strange Highways. The song Hollywood Black was demoed by Black Sabbath during the Dehumanizer sessions.
Ooh. Interesting.
Whether it's the same, I don't know. Tony Army remarked of Dio's version before hearing it could be the same lyrics. Probably is. I wouldn't think he would use the same music. It is Ronnie, so
Very true.
So
yeah.
So if Tony Iommi is saying that from what this says, then you could say some of those songs. Yeah, that would definitely be Dehumanizer Part 2. But you got a Firehead, the second track. It's a fast song.
Oh yeah, good one.
Evolution, Pain.
Yeah, there's a lot of good tracks on that album. I would say it's probably most. Go ahead.
Oh no! You go ahead, Ben. I
was just gonna say I think Strange Highways the most underrated Dio album. I mean, it came out in a weird time because around this time grunge was blowing up. Metal was nobody gave a fuck about metal no more. The mainstream was telling you metal was dead. It's never coming back and all this crap. And
Well,
so it was a very dark time for metal.
And a lot of Dio fans debate that, Sacred Heart and Dream Evil are Dio's weakest solo albums. I'm going to say Lock Up the Wolves is his weakest solo album.
I would probably agree. I mean, it's weird. Speaking of Lock Up the Wolf, and I told this story before. Lock Up the Wolf was actually the very first Dio album I ever bought. Well, cassette tape. This was way back in the early 90s. Bad way to start out, too, because I did not like the album, and I didn't get into Dio for years after that album. Actually, it was the Black Sabbath albums that got me into Dio in 98. When I first heard Heaven and Hell and the Mob Rules, I'm like, why is everybody telling me these albums suck? Like, everybody is like, oh, you don't want to listen to those albums without Ozzy. They're garbage. I'm like, did you people actually even listen to those albums? You know, I'm thinking to myself after listening to them. Because I'm like, this stuff's good. What's wrong with you people? You know?
They're of the closet mind of, if it's not Ozzy, it's not worth a damn to them.
Yeah. Yep, the close
which I'll say to those people, fuck you.
Yep, fuck yous.
Yeah. Was I say?
There is way better albums from way better Black Sabbath albums than the Ozzy stuff.
Yep, fuck you and eat a dick with razor blades on it if you don't like the other Black Sabbath albums that don't have Ozzy.
And if you don't like Black Sabbath in general, fuck you. Go back to being a caveman.
Right. Because there's a lot of good material you people are missing out on.
Yeah. But back to Lock Up the Wolves. Wild.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just going to Wild one. Opener. Born on the Sun. Yeah, you got Hey Angel. I mean, the title track's probably the only good track off of the album. There's a couple. And side 2 doesn't get better. But, yeah. It's the Dio album I listen to the least. That album's probably below Master of the Moon, which is Dio's last solo album. Which that album I listen to second least. Yeah. And Killing the Dragon, probably right now, Killing the Dragon's in my top 6 right now. It can change. You know.
Right. It's a good album.
I just love Push, especially the music video where you have Tenacious D, where Jack Black is on the acoustic guitar, and then Dio flips a coin into Jack Black's guitar case.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, Lock At the Wolves, man. That's the album I listen to the least. For one, it's a very long album. It's not a very energetic album.
Mm-mm.
I mean, and you would think with having Jens Johansson on keyboards on that album, who was formerly of Yngwie Malmsteen and would go on to Stratovarius, the album would have something more to it. And you got this young guitar player, Rowan Robinson, who's only 17 at the time. And he was a great guitar player. Did he fit Dio?
No.
Oh, no, that's
debatable. You have Simon Wright, who jumped ship from AC/DC to join Dio on drums to replace Vinny Appice, which I think originally there were 2 tracks. This is a story for Wendy Dio. Apparently she said this in 2019 that there's 2 unreleased tracks that didn't make Lock Up the Wolves that has drumming contributions from Vinny Appice. And apparently, from what Wendy said, they're a little bit heavier than the other tracks. So,
Yeah, that was kind of a weird period too. I mean, but yeah, as far as the Lock Up the Wolf album goes, it's not very memorable to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, there's not a lot of tracks on it that really stand out to me, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. But then we go into the next album, which is Dehumanizer, and fuck, that album's still good. It's still good. Does not disappoint.
Heck yeah, Dehumanizer is freaking killer.
Letters from Earth, and then fucking Letters from Earth. I just rips. I am anger under pressure. Yeah, Dio
Yes,
on that song
another
just
track.
rips. And Computer God.
Yeah. Oh, what a great opener!
Just that whole side one is kind of perfect. Then side two has a couple clunker tracks, has a couple okay tracks. Then you have Time Machine. Master of
Which Time Machine was used in what movie? Obviously,
Wayne's World, which I prefer the Wayne's World version.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of another scenario. That's another scenario too, where the Wayne's World version of Time Machine has a different mix to it.
Yeah.
Compared to the Dehumanizer version.
And then the track I can't stand on that album is Master of Insanity. I think they're trying a little too much.
That one's kind of okay. Maybe one of the weaker tracks.
Yeah.
But then we go into what's after that. I think Too Late.
Too Late.
Yeah, Too Late. That's a fucking killer song. Like, there's very few bands that can pull off ballads good.
Mm-hmm.
And Dio is definitely one of them. Like, man.
Speaking of Dio ballads. Speaking of Dio ballads, you got me thinking about Angry Machines for a minute. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to say, like, when you listen to a Dio ballad, or if you listen to a Dio ballad, which, there's not, like, a lot of them, but there's, a few out there, and, man, it's like being lifted up to the skies, man. It's so fucking powerful.
Yeah, This Is Your Life off of Angry Machines, the last track. That's a beautiful song.
Yes.
Dio on the piano.
Absolutely amazing.
And I think, Ben, you've told me the story about how over the years Angry Machines has kind of grown on you over the years after giving it another try.
Oh, yeah. I should tell that story, actually, before I get, I should definitely tell that story. Okay, so I bought Lock Up the Wolves around 91-ish on cassette tape. At the time, did not like it, so I pretty much didn't really pay attention to Dio throughout the 90s till, I don't know, it's around 96. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give it another shot. At the time, another bad move. I went out and bought Angry Machines. This would have been in 96 on cassette tape. And at the time, I did not like it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I didn't get it at the time. And I'm 17 years old too at the time. I'm already pissed off that Metallica put out Load at the time. I'm like, okay, I was just so let down. Like I said, it was 2 years later when it finally hit me how great Dio was when I heard the proper albums like Heaven and Hell, The Mob Rules. Then I dug back to Holy Diver, Last in Line, the Rainbow albums. I'm like, man, I feel like a dumbass for, downing this guy. just over 2 albums that were not his best albums. But Angry Machine has grown on me. There's some damn good stuff on it. It's definitely a darker and more angry version of Dio, because Dio was pretty damn pissed off throughout the 90s. You know, I mean, just listen to Dehumanizer, you know, listen to Angry Machine, listen to Strange Highways. Those are probably the angriest Dio albums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
What's going on,
I don't. Jeff, what's up, Jeff? Oh, Ben, I got. Oh, that was Ryan. I got off-topic question, real quick, Ben. What was I gonna say? It'll come to me. Hold on. Oh yeah. Are you? I am going to that Megadeth show. My uncle sent me a message. I got tickets for it. So October 24th, Hershey Park Stadium.
I'm thinking about going too. It's not far from my house.
Like I said, who knows? You might see a short little stream there.
Hey, you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, I'm planning on going to that Megadeth show too.
Yeah. What's up, Jeff?
I believe it's on a Sunday. So
I'm off Sunday, September 24th.
Yeah, but I'm off work, so I can go. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm just gonna weep. I'm just gonna weep on 5 Finger Death Punch, please.
That's what are doing.
And I believe 5 Finger Fuck Punch is headlining too. What the fuck? How did they get the line over Megadeth? Come on.
Well,
just because
that's like saying Disney's gonna headline over AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, we won't have to worry about doing them ever since Liam took care of them.
Yeah. I made a joke. I said, well, 5 Finger Death Punch is headlining over Metallica. Why don't we have fucking Mickey Mouse headline over AC/DC? Yeah, let the fucking rodent get all the.
That'll never happen. Nobody will ever headline over Metallica. They're too damn big.
No.
You're not going to get any bigger than Metallica.
And
the only time that I would think it would make sense for a band to be headlining over Metallica would be bands like, say, Maiden, Priest,
AC/DC,
Kiss. You know, some of those bands.
Not Kiss. I disagree on Kiss. That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed and fucking sunk. That Kiss ship.
But still, it's Kiss, for Christ's sake.
It's not. To me, it's not Kiss.
You can't deny that they have a marquee that is way bigger than Metallica. You have even when they had the original 4, and Metallica around there with the original 4, Kiss would headline over them easily.
Yep. Looks like somebody
already had Killick in their car easily, without doubt.
I think somebody in the chat.
May I say something? Hello. Oh boy, is this a troll?
Troll, I'm deleting him. He's fucking gone. I'll take care of it, man.
Wait, hold on a minute. Let's see what he says first. Give him a chance.
Oh, I'm scrolling up. He's saying, how do I connect? He gives us the horns. He says infinity. He says hello a bunch of times. He's fucking
okay,
gone.
it's got to be a troll then.
No troll.
Okay, no troll.
Well, I'm putting him in timeout, so
all right.
he's in timeout at the moment. So
Yeah, we don't put up with stupidity here on this channel.
If you want to troll, at least be shit Barnes, like me.
Yeah.
You know what I think? Oh, wait, no, Ben, you know what Ship Barnes? Ship Barnes has something to say about trolls. Get ready, people. You know what I think about trolls? I think they're great. I think they're great for society, and we need more of them. No, they don't, Ship Barnes. Yes, we do. Trolls built society, man. You know,
Shit,
I know this
Barnes,
one time.
corner, you're in
I know this
timeout.
one time. This one troll gave me a burrito. I think it was laced. I think I got arrested from eating that burrito. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Shit, Barnes, go in the corner. You're in timeout.
You're in timeout, shit Barnes.
Wait a minute. What does Uncle Varney has to say about trolls?
I'd say go make a shitty 6 Feet Under album, but the world don't want it.
Wait, I'm shit Barnes. I'm better than Chris Barnes.
Well, what you better at than him? Comedy?
Yes.
Fair enough.
No.
No, Jeff. Sadly, I did not.
No, I never got to see Dio, unfortunately. I wanted to. Had a chance in 2007 when they were touring with Megadeth, and that kind of went under at the time. Financial reasons at the time.
Okay, Ben, I got a good question for you. If you had a time machine, you had to go back to any Dio concert or any Dio live concert, which tour, which album tour, what tour are you seeing Dio live? If you had to use a time machine to go back in time.
I would probably say either Holy Diver, The Last in Line.
Because I think there's a movie, a DVD of that Spectrum Philadelphia show. I think that one of those is a movie at the Spectrum Philly. If you guys don't know what the Spectrum is, well, you're living under a rock. Probably one of the best places to go to see a concert.
Yeah,
Spectrum Philly.
I've never been there, but I've heard it's pretty cool. I mean, the only time I went to a show in Philadelphia was way back in 2011. Who did I see? Oh yeah, I saw Cradle of Filth in 2011 at some club in Philadelphia.
How was that show?
I mean, it was a cool show. I mean, there was a couple of times where I thought we might get shot, but all in all, it's a pretty good show. Yeah, I think it was Cradle of Filth and Triptychon. I forget the other bands. It was a long time ago. I still have the ticket stubs somewhere. But,
yeah, I was reading Jeff's comment. Jeff saw Dio 4 times live. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I did notice shows are coming back, which is cool. I mean, because we got Megadeth. Yeah, we got Megadeth coming here in Hershey in September. What else is going on? Metallica's playing in Pittsburgh in August. I know there's other things going on. I just haven't really dug deep into it.
Well, there's something in Philadelphia. I forget what band it is. Yeah. Iron Maiden's doing their whole European. They're Iron Maiden's just doing a Legacy of the Beast tour. They're finishing off that in Europe since they've already done the U.S. tour dates back in the 2010s for the tour. So they're just finishing it up. Yeah. Speaking, Metallica are working on a new album. We just don't know what's happening at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
The hologram Dio thing, I'm not a fan of. No,
no,
I'm not a fan of it at all. You cannot recreate.
no,
I'm
no,
sorry,
yeah.
no. It's not gonna.
No,
To me, it's a terrible
no.
idea.
YouTube. Hold on, Ben. YouTube's pulling shit. YouTube just held Jeff's comment for review. Fuck off, YouTube.
Wait,
Fuck
what?
off. No,
What are you
YouTube.
talking about?
Oh no, YouTube tried to remove Jeff's comment. I did. I brought
I'm
it.
not seeing it.
It's in the Metal Bastards chat.
Oh yeah, I am streaming on that channel too.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, you're good, Jeff. I took care of it.
Thought about
Wait,
actually getting rid of that channel.
Friday, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? All right, I'm banning you.
Wonder World.
Goodbye. Removed.
I'll tell you what. You know what I can do actually to end it. Hold on a minute.
Oh no, Jeff, you're fine.
Oh, Jeff's fine. This has to be coming from the Metal Bastards page. So what I'm gonna do is, if I can. Okay, I figured it out. Well, from the Metal Bastards end, the stream is over. So have a good night.
You know what? Yeah, those trolls can suck a dick.